Welcome everyone to the Empath community call. I'm Jeremy. Glad to be here with everybody today. Really excited to be in this field of sharing our community without conditions, a space where you can bring what's authentically yours. This week, Doug's going to be leading us in a minute, but before we get going on that conversation, just really want to invite everybody over to empathx.org. Over there, you can see an archive of all of the videos that we've been doing over the past year and a half. You can see a schedule. You can have a space to join the Facebook group and make a contribution if you'd like. Every week, we get to have this little 10-minute teaching piece and then some time to just chat about what's going on and our thoughts about that space on camera and off camera. So if you're watching this in the aftermath, which I know I've gotten some feedback, there's several people that do. So I'm excited about that. I just want to reach out to you and say, hey, thanks for joining. Yeah, so without that, much more of me being a goofball, Doug, please take it away.
Hey, the goofball ball.
Goofball!
This is going to be fun. I wanted to think through some of the things we've talked about through the last year or year plus, and in doing my preparation time, I thought it might be helpful to our process or for my process to go back to the beginning of. So this is the beginning of the information that we share in the Return to the Garden material. And it's incredibly basic. But what I wanted to do is have some conversation today around the basics of our mind, body, spirit system. And not so much as me telling you what I've observed, but more let's take the opportunity to take apart our understanding and see if we can grow it. Because the simplicity of understanding is the key to actually understanding turning into useful tools. So I know you have spent your lives dedicated to learning how to live this life and how to be in peace, how to share love, all the things. And what I want to do today is go back to some of the basics and see if we can't find some jewels that are sitting there staring us in the eyes uh, for us to see ourselves in a better light. And in the first beginning of the education I went through, I was taught that there are 5 areas of life. They are mental, physical, spiritual, social, and financial. And I speak about those things from time to time, but perhaps not often enough do we go back and really look at the impact of understanding those 5 areas of life. Because if you're in stress and excuse me, if you're in reaction, the reactions are coming from an imbalance in your perception of these 5 areas. That's all it is. All we have to do is align our perception with our reality, and everything becomes creator's gift to you. And so I wanted to talk a little bit. I know we think about the mental world, and yet I was stuck there simply because I am a mental overproducing machine. And because I've spent my life looking for the answers that I assumed were going to come from my ability to use my mind. And I'd like to take the five areas around apart a little bit and talk about what it means to in your mental life and what balance in that area really means to you. Because if you're not being clear to your heart about what you want, then the fact that we get mixed results is kind of part of our gift to the world. We're not asking for what we really want. So the five areas, each one is some people can live their whole lives in the mental area. But the whole gift of the five areas of life is to find your balanced place in all five areas. My my goal mentally is not to be the smartest person in the world. Probably the second smartest, the third smartest. I was gonna I was gonna give up that, but the idea is not that we're not here to overwhelm the system. We're here to find balance in each of the five systems. And if you look at your life today, are you in mental balance? That's an honest question. And the balance point isn't necessarily there isn't necessarily a great in we're not at the end of life and we're trying to build to that. The balance point is right here, right now. And are you at peace? Are you using your mind to to create what you do want? And just take a minute, if you would, and share what the mental area means to you. I think this is a conversation that sometimes we talk around, but it's time to grasp some of the details of how powerful it is to find your mental balance. Take a minute, share something.
Yeah, for me, it's certainly rumination is a story that I think I know what's going to happen because I experienced it before and I'm just I know it, I know it, I know it. And it is a tiny little mouse wheel that just spins and of course all these chemistry of
Mhm.
I won't go into just created is emitted from this space and so yeah, that's mine.
So, so where's your balance point? How do you determine what your balance place is?
I mean, for me, go ahead. Are you asking me or are you putting it back out? Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Jane, jump in there.
That's a great question. Where's my balance? I mean, actually, I think it's ritual. Like if I've satisfied a couple of rituals in the day, then my mental balance is like, okay, now whereas last week I was zipping around and going to Walmart with my sister and everything. I'm like, I'm not in balance. I was like, this is weird. I'm feeling very weird because people, too much stimulation. So I think some of it is just finding that place where I'm tolerating the stimulation, but it's not overwhelming me, and then I'm feeling excited about whatever's up, or at least fairly decent.
Hmm. Hey, Paula.
Everybody's like,
Hey
Paula.
guys,
Yeah, we
I
always
had trouble
always
signing on today.
yeah, always saw was your phone number, so we didn't know who it
Yeah,
was.
we're like,
Uh,
who's
Mm.
that? It's great
Jane,
to see.
I really was provoked by what you're saying, and just like remembering that I think for me it's practice. Is my upsets are there for me to practice coming back to like Doug, you said it before
Mm.
we jumped on is presence. Is I just need to stay present. And it's in that presence that when I'm calm and grounded, things just become clearer and my action to take, I think, is that next step after that, that middle spaciousness. It's like I want positive vibes, but I'm not going to put positive vibes in when I'm feeling negative vibes.
Hmm.
It's not gonna like, ah, get out of here and get, you get in here. And so I think for me, that's what comes up, Doug, is like find that balance happens on its own accord. Like it's
Mhm.
the fruit from the tree, and I'm just making sure that my soil is good.
Mhm.
We're here. We are teachers. Go ahead, Brian. This is awesome to share.
Brian, you're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, for me, it's about noticing the brain chatter
Mhm.
and stepping back from it. And I've never been able to stop my brain,
Hmm.
but I've been able to step back from it, which completely disempowers it and
Hmm.
empowers me to allow whatever's there to be there. Just come on up. Okay, what you got? And to watch it, it becomes like that scrolling sign, that just keeps doing the message.
Mhm.
And I can watch that and see what the message is and say, okay, what's that about? And have that brain chatter be teaching material
Hmm.
as opposed to judging it, bad, good,
Mhm.
pleasing, displeasing. Why the hell did I think that thought again? It's like, no, I'm not my brain. I'm the noticer of it. So what's that about and what can I learn from it?
I
And
think
that's when I'm in balance, is when I can step back from it.
I love your use of the words I'm the noticer of the brain chatter because that's our system 50 years ago was to create an observer so that we had a personality attached to the aspect of observing, which could then make decisions about in other words, bypass the emotions that come up because the observer is not feeling emotion. Because the moment you're feeling emotion, you have slipped out of observation into the active principle,
Hmm.
and the active principle brings distress.
Almost every time.
uh,
Holding on to that lightning rod.
so the mental aspects. Do you devote 20% of your energy every day to the mental?
No, probably 70 or 80.
Yeah, way
You
more than.
know, that's my situation. I've only recently, relatively recently, in terms of my entire lifespan, become aware of the degree to which I live in my head
Mhm.
and the ways in which that is not necessarily bringing me what I would prefer
Mm,
to have in my life.
mm,
Um, so for me, the balance comes from concentrating more on those other areas
Mhm.
so that because the mental part's it's gonna take care of itself, it's gonna take over if I let it. So I feel like I need to place more emphasis on those other four areas consciously so that I'm not just living in my head all the time.
Mhm.
Because I really related to what Jeremy said. It's like, I think I know what's going to happen.
mm,
I think I know what's going to happen. And so, and I can get really convinced by my own story. And sometimes I don't see what's right in front of me because I'm so like there. So,
Well,
And being the writer, you're really good at coming up with stories. I mean, that's part of what makes you you.
yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
mm, mm.
Sometimes it's unfortunate.
so we've looked at one of the five areas, which is the mental area, and we probably come back to that again at some point in time. But how about the physical? What
That
is your balance point in physical, and how much of your energy is devoted to that balance?
It's a tough one for me. I mean, I used to be an athlete when I was younger, played every sport and played them pretty well and competitive in a few. And, now I'm in my 60s and I can't do what I used to do. So I'm kind of working my way back toward some of what I used to be able to do. But there's a whole lot of mental around the physical. There's a whole lot of judgment about why can't I, what did I, shoulda, woulda, if, all that,
Mhm.
But
all the
Brian,
judgment around that.
you spend a lot of energy and a lot of time around maintaining your physical well-being. You're very
I do.
conscientious about what you eat and supplements and, all of that stuff.
Yep. But I still
So,
got to move my body more.
Mhm.
well, that's a judgment.
Maybe.
That's a judgment about
I just remember all the quotes from Dick Van Dyke. I don't know if you remember, but it's like he talked about the different decades of his age and why he kept moving.
Yeah, movement's important. I know for me, it's been a real sticky one for all of the chronic health stuff that I've been dealing with for the past 12 years. And so now to have, really hit a real, I like even probably, I'm probably too skinny right now, but being back in the gym, even if I'm just doing a couple sets, just that I'm going there and I keep that practice in there is the most meaningful thing. Like it
Mhm.
does not matter that I'm hitting every rep and I'm maxing it. Just get in there and do something. And so just like feeling, that beautiful practice, doing what I don't want to do.
What can we do that brings us more in balance? Because
Travel.
Good answer.
the idea of the physical is, in some ways, it is overwhelming of our experience because we experience so much through the physical. But being mostly mental, I was actually would use the body as uh, a way of touching into the mind. it's I felt like I was getting closer to the mind by using the body, which is okay. But the fact is that there's a balance point in the physical that will actually raise the level of energy that you have access to for creation. If you're not using some of the, if you're not using the fullness of creator's energy flowing to you, then by necessity, you are experiencing the lack of creator's uh, movement of energy in those areas that you're not including. The and I'm not judging anything. I'm just trying to bring some uh, extended awareness of observation, and I hope that's what will come from this conversation is more of just exactly that through this coming week about finding that balance point because I walk 4 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week, but it's only a couple miles. It's no big deal. But that is a balance point for me to the get the system working optimally or better. And then next month, the month after, I might choose some more activity or whatever. But finding the balance point for where you are right now is really, really important to the whole picture because 20% of your energy is focused, has the potential of bringing that area into full balance. And that,
Physical, mental.
go ahead.
Were you saying physical or 20% physical or mental?
Well, I think there's 20 in my world. There's 20% of energy that belongs in all five areas, and I think that's up for question at some point in time for you to decide what's true for you. but it's my way of acknowledging the fact that the you actually have to keep looking at the whole picture in order to create what you really do want.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't do very often. I know about 5 dimensions. I teach about them, and then I leave them alone until the next time I teach about them.
Yeah.
I missed this. What are your 5 dimensions or 5 elements?
uh,
Physical, mental, spiritual.
Social and financial.
Ah, yes. Lovely. Okay.
Okay, so how about the spiritual life? Where is your balance point? What is the thing that solidifies your feeling as a spiritual being right here, right now? Is it your church you go to? Is it people you hang out with? Is it the thoughts you think? The books you read? Where where does that balance spiritually come from?
For
In
me,
me.
No, go ahead.
what'd you say, Paula?
I said in me because I've been talking to my higher self since I was a kid. So if I get into, it's better for me to stay with that all the time.
Mhm.
Because if I get too empathic, like even, well, I'll just give a teeny example. I won't take up too much time, but I just started this new job and I love all the patients. It's so fun to be with them and I'm helping them. But the office has had some stuff. And at first, it really bothered me. But, and then something came up, which you're kind of talking about with the physical, that kind of threw me back into no, I'm not going to let this be part of my daily routine. I had a really bad episode of vertigo, which I've never had.
Mm.
And I was in the hospital. That's why I haven't seen you guys.
Mm.
And so, but then afterwards, when I had to, recoup, I thought, what am I doing? Like, I'm really only here to heal and to, do my spiritual and be happy with where I'm at now. So I have let that go as far as the office. Like, I still am nice to them. I still like them, but I didn't let it bother me. And one of the ways was I went back to listening to what, instead of getting into a stress cycle, I just started listening again to my higher self. And that's just, as you know, the most beautiful thing. And but it was, I think that the physical thing that happened that threw me off was actually it is actually part of me letting them bother me, because they weren't training me the way I want, on the computer, and they just threw you there. And it's a very archaic system. So once I got that, I was like, oh, forget this. I know what I'm doing. So as far as the healing, now I got their computer system, even though it still is archaic. But I thought, you know what, this is not worth it. I can't let them bother me this way. I shouldn't. But I can get empathic into all the energies there. So I had to kind of step back from that. Was that too long-winded? I'm sorry.
Not at all. Paula, you're welcome to share as much as you'd like.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
The spiritual realm, again, is 20% of your energy going into your perception or your reality of your spiritual life? Are you?
More than that.
Mhm. Okay.
Every
Yeah.
time you say the 20%, Doug, I imagine like this nebulous field that is my life, this sort of cloud that's all
Mhm.
these five different gases all mixed together. So it's like hard to really assess if it's like what percentage is what of each one. It's like they're all kind of blended and melded together. So I think it's really more of a general sense of like, boy, there's some areas that need that are the areas of tension that I'm working things out in, and other areas that are fine. Like spirituality is going great right now. It is me,
Yeah.
like Paula said, going inward, but this home is, I'm loving it, and just being slow and being present and spending a lot of time here by myself. Oh, oh, oh.
Nice.
How we feel about ourselves shows to all of us. So we all know we're on a growth path and doing well. The spiritual life uh, is something that has been dominated in the religious realm, but there's a spiritual life for every human that's come into this experience. And the mental, physical, and spiritual, everybody understands those are integrated parts of a fully lived life. What people fail with the most is not those three areas, mental, physical, and spiritual. Where we fail the most is in the social and economic areas.
Yeah, I agree.
It is the balance of those things, not the abundance of those things, that makes the difference.
Yeah.
And that's where our conversation has to grow so that we can lead the way with others on the same pathway of trying to figure out the answers. And in the social world,
Well, and those things, I mean, they have to play a part too, because, five elements in Chinese medicine are all the things you're talking about. You're calling them different, but, the air is the money and that kind of thing. And when Jeremy was talking about the gases and stuff and like everything meshing into each other. Well, in Chinese medicine, there's an interdependence. Everything turns into everything else and they mutually support each other. So this balance idea is just, I mean, if we can just keep that word almost in our minds all the time, um, it almost can kind of push out any kind of the going down the nut hole.
yeah,
So
well,
I think
all of
that's
us are still climbing out of said nut hole.
yeah.
All your nut holes.
So this physical balance is great. Spiritual balance is a great idea to work towards, and I know that's part of the reason we gather every week is uh, learning to get to be in that physical balance together. Financial balance is the one that is probably the easiest because it's really kind of black and white. It's green and silver or gold, or it's
What do you mean by that?
Just easily measured by transactions in the
Oh,
marketplace.
measured. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. I
the
I I want to jump in on that one, Doug,
yeah, dude.
because I've been praying through a lot of this and I've been having, all sorts of fits and upsets for years around all this stuff.
Mhm.
And I think for me, what I come down to is it's about how I'm showing up in a marketplace, right? The space of like financial is that space of how we as humans relate in a way that's dramatically different than it's been for a long time. I mean, what has been 10, 15 years that there's digital marketplaces now? Whereas how many thousands of years was it you had to walk down to the guy's booth? So just like
True.
remembering this practice and the opportunity to serve is really that, and like working out the authenticity of my offer. Like, what am I offering? How am I, like, who am I? And how do I, like, what's the framing of what I want to experience rather than what I think I'm supposed to do or be? Boy, that's a deep trap for me.
Mhm.
You know, I think, and it took me a long time to realize this because, well, if I'm happy and I have more of those things, if I have all those things balanced, the money just flows in.
Mm,
But if I get if I get too upset about something, well, like I was just saying about how this office was not really doing what I thought they should be doing. um, as far as like treating an employee, and I was brought up really with really good customer service skills. And so I guess that's one of my irritations. I'm like, yeah, but that's not the way you treat people. You train them,
Mhm.
you like support them, you give them compliments, you show them how to do it. But anyway,
mm,
that's another story. But I think that if we have all those things balanced, like you're saying, Doug, then the other parts sort of mutually support each other much, much better, and the finances flow in. Um, because you're holding on to that. Like, let's say you're anxious. So if you're anxious a lot or mad or whatever it is, you're holding on to that more intensely. So you've already increased your percentage. And so then there's not room for some of these other things to flow in.
It, I think I think it's great to have this conversation because the one thing that will stop the abundance that we're seeking is our judgment of the present.